Welcome, everyone, to the league. This is your commissioner speaking. It is week motherfucking 3. Cheers. Woo! All right. Got some players moving up, got some players moving down, and got some teams that are a bit surprising, and some stats that are a little surprising as well. First off, the West. Everyone's 1-1. Are we the new South? I don't know. But um, the West is a little bit janky right now, but the Voyagers still hold the top spot even after the loss to the LA Finesse last week, based on points four. Um, for them, they are above the Finesse by about 21 points in that regard. In the South, the Trolls have emerged as one of the top teams, not only in the South, but in the league. They've scored the most points with 291 on the season, which is above the Columbia Dumpster Fire at 287. But then after that, it's the Voyagers at 250. So the Dumpster Fire are 30 points ahead um, of the third place team, and the Trolls are just above the Dumpster Fire at right there. So it kind of looks like the West is going to be a bloodbath this year, a little bit as it stands in the first two games. Each team's 1-1, so obviously they all want to get to 2-1, but only two of them can do that. Tiger Sharks, Smeagol's, and Cartel are all 0-2. And probably the only team that's probably surprising to be in that spot would probably be the Smeagol's. You'd think they'd at least have one win on the season with a seasoned coach like Mr. P-Man over there in Philly. However, again, raising a kid, it's tough, man. I wouldn't know, but I assume it's fucking tough. And yeah, they're gonna try their best to get things going. And what the fuck is wrong with that? Do you guys see this? Hold on. What the hell is wrong? Whatever. I don't care. There's a clipping on here on the screen, but whatever. Let's get into the power rankings. Alrighty. Woo. Coming in at number 12. I mean, do I even got to say anything? It's the fucking Cartel, man. They're fucking garbage. They've only scored 181 points on the season, which is definitely the least out of everybody. They haven't had the most points scored against them, though. Surprisingly, the Philadelphia Smeagol's have had 292 points scored against them in only two games. So, again, that's another reason that they are 0-2. However, the Smeagol's still haven't put up like a lot of points. It's not like they're getting unlucky in their games. They've just faced some tough squads, I guess, and they're also putting up some points, but not a lot. They're not getting unlucky, but they're also not getting blown the fuck out each week either. So maybe that is a bit unlucky, but whatever. The cartel though, they again they've got to get some shit going. Again, the team is just a bunch of twos, bunch of backups, bunch of fucking this is like a JV squad out here, and we'll see what they can keep doing. Coming in at number 11, dropping down a few spots. You got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. Whew, made some moves this week, dropping some apparently dead weight on defense in Bosa, but I don't know. They think Highsmith is that dude, even though he ain't that young either. But sure, I guess if he thinks that guy's gonna do some stuff, then whatever. I don't know. Some strange moves by the head coach down there. Um, they're 0-2. Maybe they're getting a little bit desperate. They definitely need a win this week. Coming in at number 10, I got to put them here. The Philadelphia Smeagol's. Again, we just kind of talked about them. They're 0-2 as well. And they're just, man, it's a rocky start. They do have a much better game, a much better chance to get a win this week as they do face off the cartel. However, if the cartel can win, if the cartel can win this game, against the Smeagol's, Smeagol's might have already dug themselves a fucking grave because starting 0-3 And again, with the cartel in your division, man, that's going to be tough. But we'll get into that matchup a little bit later. Coming in at number 9, dropping down just, I think, a spot or two, you got the Washington Wise guys. Came in hot first game of the week, against the reigning defending champs, and then took the L last week. To the SC Titans Elite, unfortunately. And they're now in the bottom of the West after this loss. Again, everyone's 1-1, but they have only put up 186 points, which is 18 points less than the Titans Elite. So I got the Wise guys down here at 9. They need to show something more this week against a big time matchup against the Voyagers, and we'll see if they can pull something out of their ass in that one. Yeah, coming in at number 8. Oof. Rising up a little bit. You got the Hickory Grove Heaters. Big win last week. Got the win over the Tiger Sharks by 2 touchdowns there. They put up almost 140 points in the process. Pretty good. It's fucking cold in here, yo. Damn. All right. I'm like shivering, man. Fucking excited. All right. So we got the fucking Heaters. They got a big game coming up this week as well. They got themselves the French Quarter Quailmen, who are also 1-1. So that's going to be a very, very tightly contested matchup for the South there. So the Heaters did move up a little bit in the spot. They showed some fucking grit, some heart, and they got a well-earned win last week against a feisty Tiger Sharks team. Is the word. That's the nicest word I can use. Coming in at number 7, you got the SC Titans Elite. Not really moving anywhere. Like they lost to the Voyagers, a pretty good squad, and then they beat the Wise guys, kind of a bad squad. So I don't really know where to put them right now. Joe Ball. I mean, they only put up 93 against the Wise guys. I mean, we knew that would be a slugfest, a slog, I guess you would say. And, they only put up 93, but hey, Joe Ball, they brought the Wise guys down to 81 in that matchup. So, again, can they keep doing that? They have to play the finesse this week. Can they do that against one of the highest scoring teams in the league? I don't know. So I'm going to keep them here at 7 to play it safe. And I think that's pretty solid. Coming in at number 6, top 6, you got the French Quarter Quailmen. Taking a loss last week. Got the shit kicked out of them by the upstart Charleston Trolls, 165-116. Damn. I mean, good lord. I mean, yeah, you think, oh, well, they put up 116, but they only would have beaten 2 other squads last week, and that was the Titans Elite and the Wise guys. So the Quailmen have got to get their shit together because they're already 1-1, and the Trolls looking spicy here. And yeah, the Quailmen after week 1, there goes that death grip on the South. So they're going to need to play really well this week, and we'll see what happens. Coming in at number 5, not really moving anywhere. You got the Long Island Roondogs. They are 2-0, okay? They're 2-0. They're in the East. They've scored 255, which is right on par with some of the other teams here. But I don't know. Something about this team just doesn't scream fucking amazing, right? And they just lost Saquon. Sun God is fucking a little bit hurt now. All of their half their fucking team is dead. So yeah, they're 2-0. They've still scored more than actually. I'm sorry. They've scored more than the Voyagers. I'm sorry. I didn't see that earlier. So the Roondogs are actually the 3rd highest scoring team in the league, but they're fucking hurt and I don't know. I'm going to keep them here until they can show that next man up mentality up there in Long Island is a thing, and if that shit works. Because if it does, they're going to be shooting up the boards. Because if they can win with their backups, then it's a scary team. And the Roondogs are always you got to watch. You can never take the Roondogs lightly. They're former champions a few years ago, so they're always here. They have been for the last say 3, 4 years, and but right now, since they're so injured, I couldn't really move them up or down though because they did get the win. Coming in at number 4, the aforementioned Vietnam Voyagers, fourth scoring team in the league. They are 1-1. Took a loss to the Finesse last week by only 8 points. Very, very tough loss. Could have won the game had they played a little bit better, but hey, that's how shit rolls. You start the wrong guys. And yeah, so moving down a couple spots from number 2 from last week. The Voyagers have a game against the Wise Guys this week, which should be a fairly easy matchup, but both of the Wise Guys games have been fairly low scoring, so maybe they can drag them down. I think, these Wise Guys and the Titans Elite, they're just playing slog ball, and they're trying to just slow the game down and make teams come to them. You got to earn every point. So we'll see what happens in that matchup. Coming up at number 3, you got the LA Finesse. Coming up in one spot. Not too bad. Got the win against, again, the Voyagers last week. Only won by 8. I'm sorry, 9. And, they're 1-1, but now they got to face Joe. And Joe's always a tough matchup. And these guys, they're not rivals, but they're like, I don't know. It's always a good time to watch Joe and E-Man face off out here in California. So it should be a good matchup here. And if you haven't noticed yet, I haven't set a team, but here they come. Coming in at number fucking 2, you got the Charleston Trolls. Woo! Coming all the way up. What did they start the year at? I want to say at maybe 9 or 10, and now they're up to 2. They were 6 last week, and they've shot up the boards. They've put up a stupid amount of points. 165 in week 2, and in week 1 they put up 125, which isn't amazing, but they have done the damn thing. They have blown each team that they've played out. Let's see, by what, 35 and then 50. Okay, they've outscored their guys by I think 80 points on the season, right? No, they've outscored, 86 fucking points. They've outscored their opponents. So right now they are dominating, and I couldn't really put them any lower than 2 because the only team that is better than them is the Columbia Dumpster Fire. Fucking 2-0, putting up 287, which is not the most in the league, right? They have allowed a little bit more, but since they've been here, I couldn't move them down over the Trolls. We'll see what happens this week. Even if the Dumpster Fire and the Trolls both get wins, but the Trolls look a little better, then I might move the Trolls up to number 1. We'll see what happens this week, though, right? But yeah, excuse me. Those are your power rankings, and let's get into matchup number 1. You got the 0-2 Philadelphia Smeagol's at the 0-2 Miami Cartel. Ugh. Who the fuck's gonna watch this game? Not fucking me. I don't. Who gives a fuck? These teams are trash right now. I assume the Smeagol's are going to get the win. However, if the Cartel can get the win, not a huge upset. Would be a nice upset, though. And that Miami team needs a win just for morale purposes. I mean, they're just down in the dumps, just snorting. That's all they got left. The Smeagol's need this win to just save a chance at this year. Not saying if they lose, they're done. But if they lose, man, that's going to be a tough hole to dig out of. I think I got some hair on my face. There we go. Matchup number 2. You got the Hickory Grove Heaters at 1-1 at the French Quarter Quailmen, who are also 1-1. These two teams are very, very evenly matched. The Quailmen have only scored 7 more points than the Heaters on the year, but they've also allowed about 19 points more than the Heaters on the year. So they're very, very evenly matched. I think this matchup here will kind of tell the tale for the rest of the year in the South. Because again, the Trolls have already pulled away, and the Tiger Sharks, while they are very even with the Heaters as well, they are 0-2. So I think this matchup can start to kind of separate, show us who is going to be, who is going to be a contender and who's going to be sitting at home watching come playoff time. And this is it. This is a big time game. As it stands right now, the Heaters are up 25-0 at the end of the first quarter, but the Quailmen, look like they do have a decent chance to come back, but it's already not looking good for the Quailmen. So the Heaters off to a hot start in the first quarter. We'll see what happens in the second, third, and fourth. On to matchup number 3. You got the 2-0 dominant Charleston Trolls going on down to Tampa to play the 0-2 Tiger Sharks. And man, at the end of the first quarter, the Trolls are only up 7-0. So pretty good here by the Tiger Sharks to keep themselves within scoring. Within scoring range. As it stands now, it looks like the Tiger Sharks might lose by a couple of touchdowns. But if the Tiger Sharks get this win, no one's talking about it. If the Tiger Sharks can get this win, fuck whatever I just talked about in game number 2. That just throws the South back into fucking turmoil, back what it's always been and always will be, it seems like. So we'll see. Why am I not focused? Focus. There we go. But yeah, I mean, big game, and I don't know. This one's tough, man, because again, the Trolls look dominant, but the Sharks went, they kind of went crazy on the waiver wire, doing some other things. They're starting Geno Smith instead of Daniel Jones, which was a fantastic pick, by the way, because Jones only put up 4 fucking points on a Thursday night. Yeah, it's Thursday night, so it's tough to start him, but the way that he's been playing, especially the week prior, it was a bold move to start Geno, but it looks like it's already paid off. The only way that it won't is if Geno puts up a dud. And even then, that's still a good call, I think. So already the Tiger Sharks they don't feel out of it. They got their backup quarterback in. They're staying within striking distance. Let's see what happens. Matchup number 4. You got the reigning champion LA Finesse at 1-1, flying up just a little bit to play the 1-1 SC Titans Elite. And right now, the Finesse are up 22-0 at the end of the first quarter, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better from here. The Finesse are just really high-powered, but maybe that Titans Elite defense can start to work its magic and bring the Finesse down to their level. And who knows? If the Titans Elite get this win, the West is going to get a little shaky. If the Finesse get the win like we all think, then shit stays the same. But let's keep it on going. Rivalry game of the week. You got the 1-1 Vietnam Voyagers flying on back. I think they've been there the whole time. They're just got all away games, but that's okay. They're just staying on the West Coast. Each week they get to finally go back home next week, and they're flying. They're going on up to Washington to play the Wise Guys. They are up 4-0 at the end of the first. Got 2 safeties in the first quarter, so it is a slogfest. Again, like we said, it would be up in Washington. As it stands right now, the Voyagers should be able to get a win by about a touchdown, maybe 10 points or so. They are starting 5 Minnesota players. 5 Vikings are going in. Cousins, Madison, Jefferson, Addison, and Danielle Hunter at defensive line over TJ Watt, but TJ Watt's going to move on back to linebacker and help him out. We'll see what happens there. Wise guys, they're praying for Justin Fields to do something, and they need him to do something. And ETN looked like trash last week, so they're hoping that he can return to. They're hoping that he can return to form. Guys, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but go to Travis Etienne. His his player his his player card, it looks like a created Madden player. I can't show you on here, but what the fuck? Can I show you on here? Hold on, man. What? Can you see that? I don't know. I don't know if you can see that or not, but holy shit. Go to Travis Etienne. Looks like a Madden player. Anyways, we'll see what happens in the rivalry game of the week. We already know the history here, but let's keep it on going to the game of the week. Woo! Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Whoa, my bad. I completely fucked that up. Let me change that. My bad. There we go. All right, sorry. The 2-0 dumpster fire at the 2-0 Rune Dogs. Battle for control of the East. And again, it's a little surprising that the Rune Dogs are 2-0. Maybe they're just quietly 2-0, you know. I don't know. But right now, I mean, I guess we're going to see the true colors, because right now the dumpster fire are up 20-0 at the end of the first, and it looks like it's going to get a little ugly here up in Rune Dog Town. And you know, it's saying that the Rune Dogs are going to lose by 35. So who knows? You know, again, they got all those injuries, so we'll see if these backups can overplay their position, you know, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I can understand why this is the game of the week. 2-0, 2-0, battle for the East. Let's get it. On to the predictions. Thank you, P-Man, for the picks, and baby, thank you, P-Man. Last week, Tebow went 4-2. Hell of a good job. So we're keeping it steady. We're 9-3 overall. My bad. I totally fucked up the stats as well. Sorry. Let me fix that. There we go. Yeah. So Tebow went 4-2 last week. P-Man's got him this week. He's got his own Smeagol's over the Cartel. Pretty easy pick. He's got the Heaters over the Quailmen, though. And I will call that an upset, even though those teams are very closely matched. I will still call that a little bit of an upset, seeing as how the Quailmen pretty much ruled the South last year. So yeah, a little bit of an upset there. He's got the Trolls over the Tiger Sharks, the Finesse over the Titans Elite. He's got the Voyagers over the Wise Guys in the rivalry game of the week. He's got the Dumpster Fire over the Rune Dogs in the game of the week. As it stands now, it looks like he is going to go pretty much 6-0 prediction-wise. And projection-wise, this looks almost perfect. Now, is anything ever perfect? Has anyone gone 6-0? I don't think so. I think I went 5-1, and I think someone went 5-1. I think it was Hunter, maybe last year. I can't remember. So we'll see. But yeah, good predictions. Thank you, P-Man. Hunter, you're up next week. Let's get on to golf. Whew. Holy shit. So, got to pull out my little golf notebook. Graydon shot he got 6 birdies. What is that? Is that a sextuple? No, that's 7. What the fuck is 6? Someone let me know. I don't fucking know, but he got 6 birdies. So now Graydon has leaped all the way from 1 under up to 7 under on the fucking year already, and we're only on week 2. And Dan staying in at number 2 with 4 under. Hunter, 2 under. Germ and P-Man and Matt are all tied for 4th at 1 under. E-Man and Mandy still sitting even. Are they even going to play? Who knows? Tebow, 2 over. Joe and Sam are both at 3 over. And then Rico. Oof. Rough week for Rico. He shot a quintuple. That's 5, right? A quintuple bogey. Ugh. He was 1 under after week 1. Now he's 4 over. terrible, terrible hole 2 for Rico. We'll see if he can come back and get something done. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I did not change the outro logo just because I like Jalen Hurts' fucking smile right here, and because I forgot, and I don't really give a shit. And yeah, I did do something a little fun. If you've made it this far, I think at the end of this video, or maybe I'll just put it in like a separate video, I recorded myself setting this video up before I hit record. And I sped it up by like 16 times the speed because it takes me about 20 or so minutes. I think the video is only down like 3 minutes or something like that. So I'll probably just put it in like a separate video just so you guys can watch. I don't know why. I just thought of it thinking, hey, maybe you guys want to see how I do this shit each week when I get home from work. But yeah, I'll probably link that in the chat, and you'll fucking see it, all right? Cheers, guys. Good luck.